Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to And Unity for All. Before I get started on the main subject today, let me bring something up here. Our government seems just absolutely dead set on starting a war with some nuclear power. Just look at this. There are influences in our government that claim that Iran has nuclear weapons. Now, there's no evidence for this. In fact, the evidence says exactly the opposite, that they have complied with the 5+1 agreement and that they don't have any nuclear weapons. If they have any nuclear weapons, they haven't threatened to use them on anyone. So, whatever. But, solution, let's start a war with them. Yeah, let's do that. North Korea, we know they've got nuclear weapons. Solution, let's start a war with them. Russia has lots of nuclear weapons. Let's start a war with them. Really? If you think any of this is a good idea, you seriously need therapy, because there is something not right in your freaking head. No, let's not start a war with them, with any of them. None of them are a threat to us. The only thing any of them have done is try to defend themselves or their neighbors. They're no threat to our country at all. Get over it. Okay, main topic today. Let's talk some more about Russia. All these people claiming that Russia wants to take over our country. Why? Why would they want to do this? Look at this critically. Turn off mainstream media that is feeding you all this fear to get your ratings. They don't care if the planet blows up, as long as they're getting their money. And a large part of that money comes from who? The military-industrial complex. Really? The more you keep watching, the more they get paid. The more they keep you afraid, the more you keep watching. You're addicted. They're not offering solutions. There's nothing that they are offering which is a solution. There is nothing they are offering which is fact. So let's look at this critically. Why would Russia want to take over our country? Well, number one, so that we don't go to war with them. Gee, that sucks. Tell me the bad part. I'm not getting it. Maybe so that we spend less money on our military and more on our own people. Gee, that sucks. Tell me the bad part. Not getting it. Come on, bring it. Because you're not. You're not giving me anything that is a negative here. Look at my video on the real military budget, because that one I go into depth on it, because it's a lot more than what you think it is. So maybe they want to take over our economy. Again, you're not convincing me. As of May of 2017, Russia paid off the very last of their national debt. They paid off debts that they did not have to pay off, that stemmed from the Soviet era. They were under no obligation to pay that off. That's a defunct government that no longer exists. So they were not under obligation to pay that off, but they did anyway. Can you imagine America doing that? I can't. So you're not convincing me on that one. And look at my video on the coming economic crash. Because our dollar, our economy is going to crash. And there are more and more sources that are agreeing with me. Ron Paul agrees with me. I don't agree with his economic ideas, but he agrees that there is a crash coming, and it's coming soon. All the major non-Wall Street economists are starting to say the same thing that I have been saying for years, that there is a crash coming. About the only one that has actually agreed for longer is Max Kaiser. And, you know, I love Max Kaiser. So check my video on the coming crash. There is a ton of evidence on there. And check my group on Facebook, which presents a lot of evidence on that. It's coming. What does Russia have to gain? Some people say they want military superiority. Really? Really? They spend less than 10% of what we spend for their military. And that's 10% of our official military budget. They spend about $65 billion on their military, and we spend over $700 billion every single year. They have, I think, 2 aircraft carriers, maybe only 1. We have 10. They have 2 military bases outside of Russia, and we have over 1,000 military bases outside of our country. Who's the threat? Who is the threat? They're not bombing any other countries. They're helping Syria to fight ISIS, but they are not bombing any countries. People say, oh, well, they're a threat to Ukraine and Donbass. They don't have any forces in Ukraine. And they have requested the UN to step in between Donbass and Ukraine. Who objects to that concept? Ukraine, and with their neo-Nazi government, which is documented as neo-Nazi, and the U.S., who is backing the neo-Nazis. So, you got nothing there. So they're not trying to take over our economy. They're not trying to take over our military. You've got nothing left. They want to take over our political system. Everything in our politics traces back to Wall Street. Everything in our government traces back to corporate money. Everything. It has nothing to do with Russia. It's time to stop pushing this. It's time to turn off Rachel Madcow, Criminal News Network, and MSDNC. If you want facts, you need to start looking for them. You need to start demanding that you get answers to questions. Demand proof, not unnamed anonymous sources that are presenting no evidence. It's time for this to stop. If you're going to convince anyone that Russia is trying to take us over, be specific. Say exactly what they're trying to do and what your evidence is, because you don't have any. So, let's be done with this. When people start telling you Russia's trying to take us over, start throwing it back at them. Don't stand down. Don't listen to this. Give them this video. Please. So, alright, well, please share this video. Please hit like and subscribe. If you can, please become a patron on Patreon. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good day.